Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the All About Favorite channel. I'm your host, Pastor KZ. Y'all, all this week, my attire will be rivalry schools for college football. Let's go ahead and stay in state since we did Florida State over the Gators on yesterday. Let's go ahead and represent Florida A&M University, who defeated their in-state rivalry, the Bethune-Cookman College University Wildcats, in the Florida Classic located in Orlando. Go ahead on, fam. Y'all put it on the Wildcats, even though I was low-key kind of like rooting for the Wildcats because I got two nephews, Donnie and Dewey, who graduated from them. Shouting you out, nephews. Okay, my other nephew, DJ, he did go to FAMU, so I'm going to shout you out too, DJ. Y'all remember DJ, the one who was on Team Legend on The Voice? Shouting you out, nephew. You still got some blessings ahead of you. Y'all, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and that notification bell. I'll notify you when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, comment, like, and share the video. Let's continue with random thoughts before the year ends. Just some things for you to think about doing before we leave out of this year. I saw an article, and I want to take tidbits from this article, and y'all tell me what you think. Email me at walkinfavor61@yahoo.com. And this article, it mentions people you should consider getting rid of before the new year. People that you just don't want to take with you into the new year. That doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you won't be there for them. It just means I kind of got to limit my time with that person. So tell me what you think. People who show you they really don't care about you, leave them in this year. Don't take them in next year. People will always show you. Actions speak louder than words. You can say you love a person all day long, but you got to show that. You can say, I'm your ride or die, but when I never see you riding and dying with me, I don't see you in the trenches with me, I don't see you helping me build, I don't see you supporting me when I'm down, you're not here to comfort me, I'm going to look at you side eye, and I'm going to have to take my circle and remove you further back in the circle. What y'all think? Other people you should not take with you into the new year is people who are jealous and envious of you. We talked about jealousy a couple of weeks ago. You know the frenemies and the ones who secretly hate on you and want to be you. You know the ones who go and talk about you behind your back, laugh with you, smile with you, and then go and talk against you to other people. You know the ones who are praying against your success, the ones who don't want to see you win. Move them out your circle for a minute, y'all. Other people you shouldn't take with you into the new year are people who repeatedly disappoint you. Y'all know those. You just gotta move them out your circle, y'all. It says also people who have continuous negative energy, just that continuous negative energy. Now, granted, there are days sometimes we all feel a little down. Some days we kind of go into a little, go into our little shell or just don't want to be bothered. But we're talking about people who continually bring you negative stuff and their energy just brings you down. You kind of got to move them away from your circle. Also, people who consistently waste your time should not be going with you in the new year. They should not be in your space in the new year. You know what? There's some people that, and I talked about this a few weeks back, that do nothing but waste your time and energy. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I chuckled because I'm sitting going in my head, and I'm like, that was 12 and a half minutes. I can never get back listening to that garbage. So there's some people at some point you kind of like check out with them. So they waste your time with things. They always say they're going to do this. They say they're going to do that. And you begin to ask them, well, when you going to do it? And they keep saying, well, girl, I'm just waiting on the Lord to give me a sign. Girl, he gave you a sign like 13 months ago and you still haven't acted on it. What do you need the good Lord to do? At some point, you've got to stop sitting down waiting for things to happen and stop talking about it. You're just wasting good time, precious time. But more importantly, don't be wasting other people's time if you know in your heart you're not ready to soar. You're not ready to move forward. You're not ready to go higher and higher and walk in elevation and leveling up. You are content with staying at a certain level. Don't waste people's time. You can't take them with you. The other type of people, it says, don't take people into the new year who have no ambition. Have no ambition. That goes along with what I just said. Also, it says, don't take people into the new year with you who are not ready to move forward with their life, who are not on the same level with you spiritually, personally, professionally. They're just not there. Like I said, everybody is not willing to leave behind some things. There's some people, and I read this in, I think it was Don't Get Off the Train, Juanita Bynum's, one of her books, where she was mentioning that when you board the train or you at the bus depot and you board, sometimes there are people who come along with you. And once you on there and the train takes off or the bus is moving, it has certain stops where certain people get off. They're not meant to go with you on your journey. And that makes a whole lot of sense. I love that illustration she used because that is life. Sometimes people who start out with you, they're not meant to go all the way on the trip or take the journey with you. They're only meant to go so far. But you have to identify when the season is up, because some people mentally, they're not where you are. Spiritually, they're not where you are. And do you know there's some people who have been in churches 50 years, 40 years, and they haven't grown spiritually. They're at the same level they was when they was in their 20s. You must grow constantly. Life is about growth and maturity. Peter talks about being a babe in Christ. After so long, babies get off milk. Babies begin to eat soft food, then hard food, and that's how life is. And there are just certain people who are still at the baby stage. You just sometimes got to move them further in your circle. I don't know what you all think about it. Let me break in here for a few minutes and let's talk about something. Understand that you are light. Don't let people dim your light. Don't let anybody make you feel you're not worthy, that you don't have a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a calling. You have something to complete on this journey called life before you transition. So don't let anybody dim your light. Anybody that comes into your life and they're mashing on you, they're constantly putting you down, and that, like I said, they don't want to see you blessed. They don't want to see you with your miracle and breakthroughs. You've got to kind of stay away from those kind of people. Those people's energy sometime will rub off on you. That's why I always say you have to watch your energy. Watch the energy you give off and make sure what you're giving off is not a direct result of what someone has come through and just dropped on you. Sometimes people drop their burdens on you, and if you're really one of those type people who are compassionate, empathetic type people, that will begin to weigh you down. So be careful of that. So many people don't realize that you deserve so much more. You deserve better. And don't stay stuck in something when you know you're worth so much more. Don't just settle for a situation, even in employment situations, even when you retire. You don't just have to settle for a life of mundane monotonity. You can do something else. Those were a lot of words, I know. Sorry about that. Always remember, you are a son or you are a daughter of the Most High, and you have got to operate in discerning certain people's spirits. I said something right there, and that's a word for somebody. Don't let the enemy trick you. You've got to know when you are being drained or when you're just inundated with wrong conversations, because sometimes when you are involved in these wrong conversations or you letting so much stuff get in your ear, it might not be good for you. You've got to discern those things. Also, you can discern red flags in people, in your relationships, in your business encounters. Something that you've got to be careful of. Be careful of people who come into your life only for a season, but know when that season is up. Choose wisely and choose carefully who you associate with. And can I say this and pause this? Because it's a lot of church goers and watch this show here. Now, everybody who's sitting next to you in the pews might not be where you are spiritually. And everybody sitting in a pew might not be saved, quote unquote. Okay, so you got to choose wisely, even your church friends, okay? Because some of them sitting up in there with jealous spirits, envious spirits, I don't know. It's just different spirits. Choose wisely. Be careful who you associate with. Also, I'm going to stay on the church thing. You have to also understand the place of worship you choose, whether you're on online services or in-person services. You can get a word either way. You don't have to be in a sanctuary to get a word. You can get a word sitting in your own home. They did it in the old days. They went from house to house. They had tent revivals. But if you don't feel like you are being fed and you are growing spiritually, why are you still sitting up under that? Because it's more to growing spiritually than just singing in the choir, singing on the praise team, or just being in the house. Churches, we've been at church goers all our life. I'm speaking of me, my family, and a lot of churches have all these different type of programs. Sometimes the programs just mask the fact that it's no other growth there. You walk in that church any other Sunday where the program isn't going on, and you can hear a pin drop. It's so dead there. Now, some people like that, don't want to crush you on that. That just won't be the service for me, because I like the music, I like the singing, I like the testimony service, I like all of that. So just understand where you worship also. You might have to think about modifying. But if you want to grow spiritually, you've got to make that decision for yourself. Don't go just because the crowd is here or the popular people go there. You got to go where your spirit is being fed and you are growing personally, spiritually, and emotionally. All of those things go together. Some people just do church. Y'all get me? Some people just know how to attend. You know how to say all of the right things. When the preacher get up and say, God is good, everybody in the audience know to say all the time and all. We know those cliches. What else do you have? Do you have enough spiritual growth in you that when you're going through a show enough dry season, you're really going through a time when you really got to fast and you got to really pray? Are you able to do that? Just think about those things. And also know what you want and know what you don't want. I always tell people, one of the things about me personally, I probably can tell you the things I don't want a lot quicker than I can tell you the things I do want, depending on what it is. But these are just some random thoughts of some things for you to think about going into the new year that will help you, because you don't want to keep doing the same old thing year after year. This year, make it a better year. Remember, I don't know why this won't leave my spirit, but life is too short. It's too precious. Don't take the small things for granted, and make sure your happiness and your wholeness is important. Y'all get yourself focused. Find some balance so that you can continue walking in favor. I'll see you back tomorrow. Go Rattlers, strike.